Hello, everyone. In my last solving video, I mentioned that I was going to talk about VLOOKUP, and so I figured I would take the opportunity right now to do so. So, VLOOKUP is one of the strongest things that Google Sheets can do natively uh, without putting in any named functions whatsoever. At least for puzzle solving. I mean, there's plenty of very strong things that Google Sheets can do. But this is learning how to VLOOKUP early in my Google Sheets solving career has probably been the formula that has been the most helpful. So take the following situation. We've been solving a puzzle, and this puzzle has two parts. At the beginning, it has something for every single uh, Major League Baseball team. So this is every single Major League Baseball team, including the homeless Athletics at the moment. And four of the teams solve to nothing, whereas everything else solves to one of the letters of the alphabet. So we have a bijection between uh, a baseball team and a letter of the alphabet. Now, these baseball teams are not in any particular order. This is literally, I just copied the list off Wikipedia, and this is the order that they're on Wikipedia. Um, the second half of the puzzle is a list of baseball teams with some repeats. And so presumably this is a cryptogram. This cryptogram is, well, unlikely to be able to be solved, especially without spaces, without doing the first half of the puzzle. But now we just need to go get the letter for each of these teams and figure out what this extract is. Okay. So we can just go, all right, well, New York Yankees is over here is A, Houston Astros is N, and I can take the time to do that for every single one of these. But a VLOOKUP is one formula to do the whole thing, with basically two catches that you have to remember. But once you start doing them, the catches are super easy to remember. So let's take a look. Let's do a VLOOKUP to do this for us. So that's fascinating. I have never seen Google do that before. Maybe that was just because of the practicing that I was doing. All right, we're gonna do this manually though. Okay, so there's four parts to a VLOOKUP. The search key is what is the thing we're looking up. New York, uh, New York Yankees. In this case, I'm going to be looking up New York Yankees in this table. The range is what we're going to is the table that we're going to consider, right? So this is the table we're looking at. The index is which column are we taking the answer from, and then is sorted is the question of is the uh is the column in order. So let's go through this. Our search key in this case is the New York Yankees. It is this cell. Our range is this table, and so I'm just going to highlight all of this. That is everything we're looking for. Index. So index wants a number. In this case, it is the second column, right? The first column of the table is the team, and the second column is the uh, second column is the letter, and the third column is, and the fourth one is sorted. No, it is not. Most of the time, you're going to be putting false here, and that's going to, you see, it gives us what the result is going to be: the letter A, New York Yankees A. We hit enter. Great. So we can drag this down to fill it, and here is where we run into. It's giving this suggestion. Why is it giving this suggestion? Well, this suggestion, this is when we talk about what the dollar sign does. So right now, these cells are causing a problem, right? We see answer is and then blah, 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 blah. So let's see what happens. When we drag down the formula, it's saying, okay, this started off as F2, A2, B31. So for N, for G3, because this formula moved down one cell, it's going to move all of our references down one. Now we want that to happen for F3, right? We want this cell to give me this result, right? However, this reference table doesn't change based on where this cell is, right? This, and that's what happens here. For Tampa Bay Rays, you can see that the Tampa Bay Rays are actually in row 5, but because it moved the reference table down, the Tampa Bay Rays are no longer in that reference table, and that's why it can't take the letter M out. So, by putting a $sign here, actually, we don't even need the $signs in front of the A's. We just need it in front of the numbers. So this $sign here says it does nothing to the formula on its own, right? This formula still works the same way. But this is saying when you drag this, don't change the thing that comes immediately after the $sign. So this 2, so now when I drag it down, it won't do anything about this 2. Now the reason why it was offering both of these is because sometimes it can be a little confusing as to where you want the $sign. You have to think about it for a second. And if you just put $signs there, it is not going to affect anything because we're not dragging it side to side. So, for very often for reference tables like this, just put $signs in front of the letter and the number, and you'll be good to go. So now if I drag this down, you'll see like when I go to N, it's even though it changed F3 to move down for the Houston Astros, this table is now the same that it was before. Note that if you have this true here, the other thing that will happen is that it is going to look for the closest thing to that, and sometimes it gives very funny answers. So we can see that it's suggesting maybe don't do that. So you do want to make sure, and if you don't have this, it defaults to false. So you definitely want to have it say there. Now, you'd be like, all right, well, great, cute Mage. Apparently, Google suggestions will do all that for us. First of all, it may not. I practiced this a bunch before doing this recording, / did some setup stuff, and so it may have been automatically reading from that. But secondly, like I say for all AI stuff / calculator stuff, I was a math teacher, it's important to understand how this stuff works so that when auto suggestion stuff comes up, you understand what it's doing and you understand if that's correct or not. Anyway, that is VLOOKUP. That is the kind of thing that I think is one of the most important Google Sheets formulas to know, because if you can do that fast, that will be able to produce this quickly and without errors. In addition, it will be able to produce it dynamically for you as you are solving a puzzle, which will make it easier for you to pull out extractions in the middle of a puzzle and solve the puzzle faster. All right, if you liked this, please like the video. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. I've been posting videos every Wednesday. In addition, it is currently March, and I've been posting videos as part of my Ending March series, where I create a puzzle every day based on the Ending March prompt. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.